What's up, guys, and welcome back to the GameShow Global Esports Cup. We're going to have a weird schedule today. In fact, we already have. So the way that this was supposed to work was just like yesterday. GSL style, you had two matches to be played, the winner of both those matches, and the losers of both those matches, etc., etc. First match was a death loss because the team dropped out. So that's why we have Ozone here, because they were supposed to be that team's opponents. Then we have PewPew here, who were supposed to play up against T-Prime, and T-Prime didn't show up. So I guess both these teams just automatically the winners. So now we're going to see who's going to be in first place and moving forward very comfortably, and who is going to drop down to the lower side to play up against T-Prime, because they didn't show up for the first one. They're going to show up for the second one. So that's going to happen, which is really weird. That's not going to be happening until 17 CST after this game. So I'm going to be jumping over to the other group to help out with that one. So we're gonna have like a dual simulcast, two cameras, one game, stuff like that. But yeah, here we go. It is going to be between PewPew, Vietnam, and Ozone, the Joker, apparently. Now, usually at this point, I would know something a little bit about these teams, since I would have a game from both of these two teams to work off of, but I do not. PewPew definitely tagged up a little bit better, and taking a quick look at these players, I am not super familiar with these guys, actually. Again, Southeast Asia, not exactly known for its abundancy of players, and as far as their permeance into the NA scene, that's where I am. So, you know, it's kind of expected that I would not know all these players, but I have seen PewPew kind of around, a little more so than Ozone, but that doesn't really mean anything. So let's just take a look at the draft instead of, you know, just hypothetically talking about these players. Take a quick look at the bans. Well, Dazzle not banned out is a little bit weird, but that's why we see him picked up right now. Darks are going to get a rather early ban. I think everyone else is more or less par for the course. Doom, Winter, Wyvern, of course, the most so. Queen of Pain, more often than not, is left through to the main phase. But for PewPew, interestingly enough, they're going to go for an Ember Spirit into Ancient Apparition. Now, we've seen a ton of teams go for Ember Spirit first pick. I still don't like it. I still think that the hero in general is a little bit too easily punishable, but you know what? That's fine, I guess, because Ozone don't really have, so far, many great heroes to punish the Ember Spirit. Just the Fissure, which is, you know, okay, we're locking down his mobility. Dazzle doesn't really have any useful tools up against the Ember Spirit, except for maybe Physical Burst. But, like, do you really want to get Broodmother or Illusions up against an Ember Spirit to try to burst him down with Shadow Wave? Probably not the best idea, really. Interesting to see the Ancient Apparition picked up second for PewPew. It is a soft counter to the Dazzle. I mean, you don't shatter if you have Grave on you, but you will shatter afterwards if you are still in the damage threshold, and you can't heal yourself because, well, you're hit with the ice. So that's a kind of soft counter, and it works pretty well with Ember Spirit if you're able to actually open up with some sort of stun, whether that's like a Rubik, and that should be the pick here for Vietnam. Or for PewPew, rather. They should grab a Rubik, and if not, Ozone should ban it. Then the combo is really solid. Ember Spirit, after a little bit of a setup, can walk in, get the chains, and hit 2 or 3 times with the Chilling Touch, and yeah, you're going to be doing a hell of a lot of damage there. It's a nice little combo here for PewPew, but it is an Ancient Apparition who really is usually available in the pool a little bit later, unless Ozone were planning on picking up someone like a Huskar, which I suppose is possible with the Dazzle opening. But it's just interesting to see them open up with that combo so very early, and we'll decide to not go for, you know, a solid offlane hero, or, oh man, or Medusa, you know. I don't know what the chances are of them picking up Medusa, you know. I guess there was, in theory, a non-zero chance that Medusa would be selected. But still, I think I'd rather be scared of some of these mid-heroes. Like, I'd rather ban out a Shadow Fiend than a Medusa, you know what I'm saying? Either way, Medusa's going to get the boot out along with that Broodmother, it seems. Ozone, with Earthshaker, not really a ton else to counter that Brood. It's kind of justifiable. Wind Ranger, Bounty Hunter actually going to be banned out by PewPew. I like the Wind Ranger ban. I think this hero is consistent enough, and, you know, is sometimes not going to be running the game. Other times will be, and because of that variability, like, it is something that you just don't really want to risk. It's a very safe hero to grab most of the time. Especially if you're an Ember Spirit, you get hit with a Shackle after a Fissure, you're just dead to the Focus Fire, and there's not much you can do about that because you're purely resistant to magical damage with that Flame Guard. But for Ozone, because it's in the field still, IO, probably Tiny. I mean, Tiny's probably the best hero up against an Ember Spirit. But people are going to grab the Shadow Fiend, so just grabbing that mid lane hero, expecting the IO Tiny partnership over in mid. Ooh, it's not IO Tiny, it's IO Sven. I think this is kind of reasonable. Now, usually, like by default, IO Tiny is the strongest one. I mean, most people commonly regard it as the strongest IO partnership that you can find. Now, IO Sven is not bad. I mean, it's definitely like second place, third place, something along those lines. The armor is certainly going to be pretty nice up against what PewPew have right now. So that's definitely a thing. And Sven does so much better with an IO than without an IO. Whereas for Tiny, you could kind of do it by yourself. Not really a big deal. I really think that Sven needs the IO's help to really get into those fights. Having a nice play stun from the carry is definitely very important at locking down the Ember Spirit, but it is so easy to dodge that hammer. It is a little bit more of a physical damage output hero than the Tiny, even though they both eventually do end up, doing 300 damage a pop easily. And Sven is going to do that for the most part without reliance on burst magic damage to deal with the Ember Spirit. So I guess it is kind of again, a really, really soft counter to this Ember, but not anything too substantial. Now we see what PewPew have to grab up against this. The weakness of the IO Sven is that they clear stacks a little bit slower than IO Tiny, which is always a little bit unfortunate. The laning phase is not as bursty, however. Shadow Fiend going up against IO Tiny may have some problems. We'll take a couple of avalanches here and there, just not fun times. But up against IO Sven, you take a hammer a couple times. Yeah, I'm a lot more scared of avalanche into toss than a random storm hammer coming through. But it's not going to be a Rubik here for PewPew, which I do think is pretty interesting. It's instead going to be a Bane. Now this is going to get pretty much the same job done, or very similar job done, and that's the Bane will just set up for the Ancient Apparition. You could maybe set up for Cold Feet with the chains. It's kind of narrow there. But really you just want to have Nightmare into Ember Spirit walking in, Chilling Touch on 3 heroes, beat down. And if that hero is going to be someone like an Earthshaker, he will be able to throw a Fissure, but that probably won't save him after the right clicks are coming through from PewPew. I'm not sure if this is necessarily better than Rubik at dealing with that, and you don't get really easy Cold Feet setup, but the trade-off is that you get the Grip. And Grip versus Sven is absolutely backbreaking, and if you look at Ozone's heroes that can cancel a Grip, it's only Sven and Earthshaker at this point. I mean, I guess Dazzle, level 4 Poison Touch, OP, but probably not going to be grabbed anytime soon. So that is like a little bit more of an answer to the Sven, with a little bit of concession towards their lane. So you get a little bit of trade-off there. The Bane may have a slightly worse time in lane, but mid-game, the Bane is definitely going to have a great time. Although, to be fair, Rubik stealing Shaker spells, stealing a Sven's hammer, so those are some pretty decent skills to steal. Dazzle's Grave, also amazing if you can grab it. I think this Bane pick might actually be slightly better. You don't really need that much dominance in lane to lock down someone like an offlane, especially if it's going to be an offlane Shaker, which it does look like it's going to be. Beastmaster, Magnus now going to get banned out, getting rid of that ridiculous cleave synergy there. Sven already has 66 cleave percentage. You can't see it because of the overlay. You know what? I'm going to drop the overlay for you guys so you can see this, because I can do that, and no one stopped me. You already got 66%. You can't see the Magnuses. That adds another 50 with extra damage. And Sven usually wants to be building strength-based items to make his God Strength better. And the things that make God Strength better also make Magnuses and Power better. So you get some ridiculous synergies there. The Silencer is actually banned out, or picked up rather, by the Ozone side. Now this is a pretty nice hero at really paving the way for an IO Sven. If you Global Silence and relocate at the same time, PewPew actually will have nothing to do about that. Shadow Fiend is going to be going for a BKB. That's pretty much a given. As an Ember Spirit, you never really want to be getting that. If possible, you want to be going as Glass Cannon as possible. If you are going to get any health items, it's going to be something like a Scotty. It's going to be something really mild, like a Manta style, which he may have to get in this game, just to get rid of that Global Silence, because it is so crippling versus an Ember Spirit. So I do like that pick of the Silencer in that regard. It's also going to be just a very easy way of canceling a Grip, if it does come to it. Of course, you would want to be able to silence the Bane and not really have the Grip able to come out in the first place as Silencer. Beggars can't always be choosers, but it's just a good response to that Bane in general. However, is this right? I think this is right. We now have a last pick Nyx Assassin from the PewPew side, which is definitely not exactly the most common hero, but he does have quite a few heroes to really feed off of if the Nyx Assassin gets off to a good start. Given Dazzle, Sven, Io looking like they're going to go towards the tri-lane, no, it's actually a Silencer lane. Okay. Well, we'll see how these lanes are actually going to pan out, and we'll talk about Nyx Assassin's effectiveness in the game after that. But if he doesn't get off to a good start, sniping an Io, sniping a Dazzle, Shaker, Silencer, these are all very, very viable, very easy kills. And who knows, down the line, just being able to mana burn a Silencer, I don't know how much damage it's going to do, but it is guaranteed to hurt a lot. I'm usually not a huge fan of the Nyx Assassin. However, you do have a little bit of setup mixed in, and heroes that can actually capitalize on Nyx Assassin just looking around for those kills. Namely, the Ancient Apparition for those global snipes with the help of Vendetta. Ember Spirit may be, just right around the corner. Like, so let's say someone's Ozone storming right here. Get Nyx Assassin crawling up here. Get the Ember Spirit down to the low ground. Pop him from up here. You got some heroes that could reinforce at the very least. So the upside for Nyx Assassin is very here. The downside is that he may just get squashed in lane, which sometimes just happens. But before we get into any more of that, let's see who's going to be playing what. Both of these teams haven't played yet they're still technically winners. So, there's that. On the Earthshaker, we got Didep Try. That's not right at all. We got Trash on the IO, the second Trash-related player we have seen in this tournament so far, which is really weird. Dream is going to be on the Sven. Looks like he's going to be joining the IO mid. Tengu is on the Silencer, and that leaves Magical Joker, not just a regular Joker, on the Dazzle. They're going to be going up against RD on the Nyx Assassin. Over towards mid lane, Shadowfiend is going to be played by Cry Killer. Bane is played by Toffee, and we got AK Racing, or KL7, on the Ancient Apparition. It looks like they're going to try to set up on Trash right now. You don't want to take that Nightmare off, but now here comes a Chilling Touch. It's going to be applied to 3 heroes. They're going to try to go for the IO. They need one more right click from the Bane. That should get it, and it will. First blood drawn by Toffee. As Dream threw out the hammer, he did all he can, but again, Sven, what he can do with only one level of Stormhammer, not that much. Again, there aren't many heroes that will be able to save the IO in that situation because Chilling Touch is such an insane skill at level 1. So that was probably going to happen regardless of who the IO partner was in that stage, but throw the hammer on Cry Killer, do what you can as Dream, and it's just not going to be enough. Now the Shadowfiend having a little bit of an edge in lane, mostly because the Sven now is lacking the mana, and actually the IO, because he did die, didn't buy a bottle. Who got the rune? Sven grabbed the bounty rune. Okay, well that's a mistake, I would say. I'm pretty sure they had free access to this top rune, so they just chose to give Sven that bounty. You want to give it to the IO, because now the IO doesn't have bottle. He will give a little bit of extra mana generation to the Sven just because tether, but you really want to have hammer up at all times. And a Sven at any given time, until he gets to like level 7 or something like that, I don't really know the threshold, but he will only have one hammer with a max mana pool. It is really, really rough for a Sven. Down towards bottom lane, RD is going to get poked out a lot. Nyx Assassin is going to have a heavy poking lane. It's not really going to be a super lethal lane, but still it's not going to be the most fun of times. No, but Sven not having the hammer up at all times means that as far as Cry Killer's safety in the lane, pretty much guaranteed. Even if he does get hammered, there's no guarantee they get the kill. Again, Sven afterwards, after that hammer, is not really the biggest damage dealer until he gets God Strength. In which case, yeah, pop God Strength, kill the Shadowfiend really easily, but yeah, outside of that, not going to happen. Toffee still sticking around this mid lane, looking for that bottle snipe. Didn't find it, as now Trash is going to have that bottle, and Dream is going to be just fine in lane. The Cry Killer already off to a very good start. Speaking of good starts, however, Tengu is on the bottom lane. Boots are up on this Silencer. And Nyx Assassin, well, double damage may be nice. He's going to, again, not always be poked out of lane. He's not always going to be under lethal pressure. He's actually going to find an Impale on Magical Joker. Get fogged a little bit. Oof. That could have been 2 hits with a double damage rune. That wouldn't have been, like, nearly enough damage to kill off the Dazzle, but it would have been enough damage to make him scared shitless, for sure. At least force out the rest of those tangos, maybe force out a Clarity so he can keep healing himself. It's a little bit of a shame there for RD, but he's going to be able to get some experience. And for Nyx Assassin, that's really all you expect out of the off lane. He just doesn't really have great ways of controlling it. Let's just say he's no Clockwork, no Darkseer, right? But as far as dying in this lane, it really shouldn't happen. He may take a last word occasionally, and yeah, it's going to hurt. He only has a salve right now. He doesn't have anything close to resembling a bottle, but you see, he's going to take a little bit of chip damage here. It's not going to be lethal damage, so he has to go back to the fountain or chug his salve, or maybe even both down the line. And it's a shame for Nyx Assassin that he can't always stick around in lane, but hey, that's what Nyx Assassin does in lane. Not that much all the time. Over towards mid, though, we got Dipe. Is that even his name? I don't even know. Dep? Didep? Didep. There it is. We got it. We got Didep on the Earthshaker, who was forced out of top lane. Now, the difference between an Earthshaker in the off lane and the Nyx Assassin in the off lane is that this Shaker, yeah, he's going up against similar lane, I guess, 2, sometimes 3 heroes, but these 2 heroes have a lot of kill power if the Shaker gets way too close. At a certain point, that's going to be moot since Ember Spirit's already at level 5, and he is going for a weird skill build, even being level 5, but you know what, once he gets level 6, you jump on the Earthshaker, you chain him down, and at the very least, you force out a fissure every single time. And if you don't have mana for a fissure, then the Ancient Apparition comes in with Chilling Touch, and then you just die. Cry's going to get jumped over towards mid lane. Right clicks after the hammer. Do they have enough movement speed? He's going to start bottling up. They need more right clicks, and Cry will get away. Again, that's a situation where as a Tiny, you probably get that kill, but as a Sven, you just don't. Toffee's still sticking around, though. Only level 2 on the Bane has gone for Nightmare level 1. Nothing else at level 2. Has been trying to stack up, I think, those Ancients. Saw him hanging around there, although not really sure to what end. They're going to try to go again for Cry Killer. Oh, another hammer. Just a warning shot on the Shadow Fiend. But this Bane kind of forced to stick around here. Really can't do much to help out the Shadow Fiend except for Nightmare the Sven if the need arises. I think it's time to stack up the jungle. Oh, okay. Here's the stacks. Here's the stacks that Toffee's been working on. Yeah, he was hanging around here for like just a couple seconds, but yeah, this is really where he wants to really where he wants to build the value for the Shadow Fiend, who's still last hitting pretty well versus the Sven. Like for the most part, it's an even CS lane. But the Shadow Fiend is going to get his acceleration. The Sven also going to get his acceleration. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4 camps in the hard, 2 in the medium. That's what IO does, and it's a little bit harder again for Sven to clear off those camps than a Tiny. You just avalanche toss it. Maybe you don't kill it immediately, but then you get another avalanche toss and you're good to go. It's usually pretty secure there. It takes Sven a little while longer. He needs his levels to actually do it because he needs Great Cleave. And right now he's gone for 2 points hammer. It looks like he will prioritize that one, as most Svens you normally do. Going for 2 points Warcry is a little bit interesting, especially since he wants to farm. However, Crykiller getting too close to the tower. Ooh, they don't have the hammer though. Crykiller is going to be just fine, and in the meantime, well, Tidep is going to be fine as well. But yeah, this Sven kind of weirdly going for 2 points Warcry, which I don't mind at all on a safe lane Sven. I think if you're going to be relying on stacks though to accelerate or even keep even, you really need to keep that Warcry at level 1 for value reasons, just, you know, armor and speed, and then get the cleave so you can clear those stacks off faster. Now it's going to delay the stacks a little bit, not by a crippling amount, but yeah, it is going to be a little bit inconvenient for this Sven, but I guess that's a Radiant side advantage. It's a lot easier for the Radiant to invade the Dire jungle than vice versa. If you want to get all the way over here as PewPew, like, you got to have your Shadow Fiend go all the way through the entire part of the enemy map, and it's very, very dangerous. Right now, though, CS is pretty much tied across the board. Off laners not having a great time at all. The mid laners kind of breaking even. Safe lane farmers breaking even, or at least very close to breaking even as well. Oh, but here we go. Dazzle is going to get hit with the sleep. Impale being lined up. Only going to connect onto Magical Joker. The right clicks are going to be there with the Chilling Touch. There is a Grave now onto Joker. They're going to try to turn around and kill off RD. He's going to stick up. I think that's not going to save him. Silencer's going to get the kill. However, he will lose his life afterwards. He does gain a stack of intelligence, and Nick Assassin really can't afford to lose any int. Is so mana starved as a hero. But it's still a 2-for-1 for PewPew, and it's going to lead to a better gold exchange for them, more experience on the supports that do need it. Bane, just because he hasn't been doing anything, is a very low-level hero. And Ancient Apparition, because he is Ancient Apparition, needs to get that level 6 as fast as possible. Very interesting, actually, to see him max out Cold Feet. Very often we see Ancient Apparitions go, you know, 1 point Chilling Touch for the insane level 1 value. Maybe max Ice Vortex, but if not, get stats, because Cold Feet really doesn't have a great setup in this game. Let's just say there's no Rubik, there's no Sand King or Shaker or anything like that. But he's still sticking around RD. This time he's going to take a fissure. Throws out an Impale right before. However, the Silencer is able to right-click after the fissure. So I don't think they knew that Earthshaker was there, but either way, good timing from RD. Very good timing. Well, they're going to keep this Ancient Apparition down on this bottom lane to try to back up this Nyx. But again, killing off this Silencer is really, really difficult right now. You have to land an Impale. You're going to need level 6 on the Nyx Assassin. You also need the Earthshaker not to be there. Shaker, though, has grabbed level 5 after all said and done. And getting a little bit more experience as Sven has already cleared off his first camp. Looks like he used God's Strength to clear out the start of that, and with a couple Stormhammers was able to have just enough. I didn't expect him to clear it out that effectively, so I'm a little bit surprised that he was able to do that, but oh, bottom lane, Tengu in a little bit of trouble. Chilling Touch is already active on 3 heroes. Impale is there, plus the right clicks of the Chilling Touch. Here comes Didup, but they have to run away because Ember Spirit has arrived, looking for the chains. That should land, and it will. Earthshaker is going to be in a lot of trouble. Trash is going to try to bail him out. They have the Grave on him as well, and he will survive to fight another day. But Silencer, popping Global Silence, kind of out of panic. Ended up going down either way, and well, Ember Spirit rotating around is something the hero can do. I'm not sure if this is... I mean, it got him a kill. Oh, and he's usually going to jump up to top lane. Okay, that's why he didn't jump forward to the Revenant, because he had one set up towards top. So I was going to say, like, I don't know if this is the smart idea for him to leave the lane where he's freely farming to try to get kills. But if you just jump down to the bottom lane, get a kill, then immediately get back up to the top lane and continue farming, sure, for the Ember Spirit, it's all good there. Wait, why the hell didn't he... Alright, he didn't get any experience, actually, so never mind. Silencer died, then he came in. And the Earthshaker, the target that he wanted to go for, didn't die, so he didn't have any kills or assists. So in the end, it doesn't really work that well for the Ember Spirit, but now he has Travels, so it's now not really a terribly huge deal. He can just apply that constant pressure to the bottom lane. I really like how PewPew, they're usually going to have, or Nyx Assassin games usually involve throwing the Nyx to the Wolves. They're saying, good luck, if you get level 6, great, if not, no big deal. You know, we know you can do some stuff regardless. But they're actually helping him out quite a bit, applying some pressure to the safe lane Silencer. And even though PewPew do have supports in the area, or now in the area with the Shaker rotating out of offlane, that can help out the Silencer if needed, it's still a very easy kill. Like Impale, Cold Feet, that's a lot of damage. With the Chilling Touch, obviously it's a ridiculous amount of damage, and Silencer's not exactly a tanky hero. He has gone for a Hand of Midas, so his acceleration is definitely going to be there. And I do really like my Hand of Midas on my Silencers. The attack speed is great, first of all, and if you get a hero with it that can benefit from the attack speed on the Midas, that already feels pretty good. Like Lifestealer type heroes, but getting the extra levels for level 2 Global Silence, getting the guaranteed farm later on for, you know, those big items, whether it's going to be Rod of Atos first, who knows, an Orchid, Shadowblade, Power Treads, Travels. You got some options for the Silencer. Midas is going to be doing some pretty good work. In the meantime, you have the Sven also doing some pretty good work. He has Mask of Madness now, so clearing out those creeps with level 3 cleave going to be a cakewalk. Crykiller has done his job in the jungle as well, has cleared most of that out, is working on his mech, and is very close to having that completed. But right now, PewPew have a 3-kill lead, not really a huge advantage in their favor. Actually, 3,000 not bad for the stage. The fact that their supports are actually getting a lot more than the Dazzle. Like, this Dazzle's going bare bones. Magical Joker doesn't have anything on the Ozone side, whereas for PewPew, because they've gotten these couple of rotations, especially Bane, now level 5, it's not exactly a super high level, but hey, it's the same, now tied with the Ancient Apparition, who's been, you know, for the most part, just chilling up in this top lane, no pun intended, as a dual lane. And he's going to grab level 6 very quickly, so these PewPew levels and farm are coming up. Whereas the Shaker and Io and Dazzle, kind of 3 supports now for Ozone, really hurting for their gold. So PewPew are in a pretty good position to start putting up the pressure. Maybe not just yet, they really want to have Nyx Assassin grab, you know, level 8 and 9. Although they do have the mech on the Shadow Fiend, they have Travels in the Ember Spirit. So if they do want to start looking for those ganks, it's going to be involving RD. And also has to be a Vendetta or Smoke gank outside of this Observer Void range. Obviously, they do want to go for that Silencer. Oh, they're going for the Shaker, not too bad either. Oh, he did not see that one coming. But he was narrowly out of range anyway. The question is, will that help him? Because there's a hasted Shadow Fiend right around the corner. He does know about it. He should know about it if he was paying attention. And oh, Shadow Fiend, hasted in illusions. The non-synergy is there. Second nighttime phase might just seem a little to PewPew that it's time to go aggressive. A lot easier to move around when the enemies have less vision. Especially as Nyx Assassin, who just got a D ward out of bottom. He's going to get a couple more levels because as Nyx Assassin, you need levels as badly as possible. And he actually has enough gold for Arcane Boots at this point. Not sure you would get anything else besides Arcane Boots. I mean, Magic Wand, but you can get both of this with this level of farm. Relocate up towards the top. Global Silence is there. Ember Spirit in a lot of trouble. Here comes the Hammer and the Echo Slam. Ember Spirit is going to fall immediately. However, here comes the Ice Blast onto 2 heroes. Toppy, he's going to put the Sven to sleep, prepping for that Requiem. He's going to get woken up, but he's going to get blown up anyway. That's a 2 kills. Ember Spirit does buy back, looking forward for more. RD had an Impale that he decided to hold, but oh man, that's a combo. Nightmare into Requiem right on top of a Sven, insta-kill. Yeah, feels bad, man. Still, it's a great trade, though, for Ozone because they kill off the Ember Spirit, the hero that they want to kill next to the Shadow Fiend, and they also force him to buy back. I don't think that was necessary at all for Fox to actually buy back into this game, but by doing so, he guarantees the kill on those 2 heroes, and he gets the tower afterwards. So after all said and done, it's not so bad. And ooh, Nyx Assassin looking for Tengu. Vendetta, Impale, Mana Burn, no mana. He needs to stick up, but it's too late. I think, was that enough? How much is this? 3.5 intelligence multiplier. 3.5 times 50, that was 150 with magic reduction. That's not enough. It's not enough. It wasn't enough, okay? It wasn't enough. So, if RD didn't have the mana anyway, he had stick charges, so he could have, in theory, done it. But, yeah, just not going to happen just yet. Still Silencer. We can see how much damage he took just from that very basic Nyx Assassin combo. Granted, this is a pretty high-level offlane Nyx Assassin because he did get so much help from his supports. But his failing the combo isn't really going to be the end of the world, as he can still go apply pressure to that Silencer. He's actually going to go for Hand of Midas. Now, this one I don't like as much as my Silencer Midas. But Nick Assassin, again, just needs those levels. And if you can get gold on Nick Assassin, that's going to be great. Usually, Nick Assassin doesn't get any gold because that's just how he works. The only gold that he gets is not from farm, is going to be from, hero kills. And that's fine. But if you're not getting hero kills, then you're not going to get any money, and then your Nick Assassin is suddenly going to stumble down into the Earthshaker IO net worth range. That's really not what you want. And the Santa Midas isn't going to be like super late for an offlane either. I mean, you get Darkseer or someone that can get it a lot faster if you really wanted to. Usually they have higher priorities. Up towards top lane, Fox just farming it up as if nothing is going on. Didep is going to be the unfortunate recipient of this gank, it seems, as here comes the bug. Everyone knows bugs are good against cows. Impale is there. Jump in from the Ember Spirit. Global Silence is up. Relocate coming in as well. But the ice is also coming in. He can't actually fire it off because of that Global Silence. They see Fox. He'll dodge the hammer. No, it'll follow him because that makes sense. And he'll get stunned up anyway, but still with the shield, he'll be fine. Tengu's going to teleport in. But in the meantime, Bane kills off Dazzle over in the mid lane. Everyone else surviving up towards top. That was really weird. It looked like he was going to dodge it, but then he got stunned anyway. I guess he, like, sleight of fisted. So he like dodged it kind of, but then it still landed where he was, so he got hit by the AoE of it. That must have happened. Either way, Fox is going to not only get another kill with the help of Nick Assassin, but also going to survive. Ooh, Tengu. Okay, well, Toppy's going to run into him, walk out, no big deal. We can see the lack of explosiveness coming out of the Sven. There's not enough damage to kill off an Ember Spirit. I don't think God's Strength was ready at that stage, so, he doesn't have his full power. But if that's a tiny coming in, even through that level 4 guard, you still get that kill most likely. Ice Blast, Kablammy. Man, I love Ancient Apparition. Such a fun hero. And he's actually going to go for a point booster. I say actually going to go for a point booster. I mean, yeah, he's probably going to be going for an Aghanim Scepter because it seems like a good item on Ancient Apparition. I mean, I say actually because usually if you can afford a straight point booster, that means you can afford a straight Midas. Oh, top lane though. Oh, Didep is in a little bit of trouble again. Again, caught in a corner by his own doing. He's going to get mana burn, so he can't cast anything else, and Ember Spirit's going to claim yet another kill. Very easy kill here for PewPew. But again, they could have had an Ancient Apparition also with Hand of Midas to guarantee his levels, and much like the Nick Assassin would have had a pretty good combo there. Oh, Cry Killer. You done goofed, Shadow Fiend. You done goofed, and here comes the punishment. Relocate coming in. The hammer is there. Brain Sap on the trash. Cry Killer is going to drop super low. However, does mech up. He is going to pop in the end to the silencer. Trash. Stuck in the cold feet, though, is going to fall. Making it ultimately a 1-for-1 trade. Not too bad, considering the fact that should have just been a clean kill for Ozone. Tengu now getting put to sleep. Looks like there's no follow-up for this for PewPew. But 1-for-1 trade, again, not the trade that PewPew want to be making, losing their Shadow Fiend for any one hero on Ozone. Not worth it. Especially if that hero is an IO. It's going to give Sven a straight BKB. And he has the Mask of Madness now, so he can wander right into those fights absolutely fearless. Still has got to watch out for that ice effect, though. Pain in the ass for the Sven, who does rely somewhat on the Dazzle's healing and the Mask of Madness life steal to survive. The real concern here for PewPew should be this Ember Spirit. Though he is free farming, isn't as farmed as the Sven because he doesn't have as many stacks. Hasn't cleared as many stacks. Is well on his way towards that Manta style. And Sven is actually going to get jumped. Ice Blast. Nick Assassin combo, not enough damage there. Again, not a big deal. Whatever. Just accept that and move forward for later. It's a good testing point also for Nick Assassin. Just see if you can get the kill. If yes, man, great. You somehow killed the enemy Sven. If no, not a big deal. You know how much damage you do with your combo now. Exactly onto the Sven. It's going to be off a little bit since he now has his BKB, but, whatever. Yeah, this Manta style is going to be coming up soon for the Ember Spirit. Grabbing that Manta style is so important. We've seen his attempts at going for, who are killed on this top lane. Usually it's going to be Earthshaker. Almost completely stopped by a Global Silence. Once you have that Manta style, Global Silence is not really a big issue. And for an Ember Spirit, oh, wait, for Toffee first. Nightmare. They have to watch out for this relocate, however. Very dangerous. There's a grip. There's an Ice Blast. No relocate just yet. Global Silence is there, however. And now Didep is going to try to get in there. Fox, hiding in a corner, is going to throw some chains and then jump away. Safe. Very far away distance. And Sven, unfortunately, not able to catch up to anyone there. That was God's Strength used. Not a super high cooldown. Oh, but they return into a Requiem. Oh, not a good place for an IO to be, let me tell you. Cry Killer now is going to look to intercept with Toffee. His illusion's going to take this last word. So for Toffee, that was a pretty good setup. Now Nightmare onto Tengu. Go to sleep, poor Silencer. Dazzle's going to peel it off, and they have 2 range shows here, so they can get back to their fountain eventually. Although a Raze is going to be there. Hammer's going to be thrown towards Toffee. Magical Joker, forced to grave himself. Ice Blast available. Short distance. Is that going to shatter? It looks like it might. Oh, it's so close. Dazzle is crossing his fingers, hoping to God that he doesn't die. And he lives. The man lives. Lucky Dazzle. But still they lose their IO. They barely escape out of that situation. And PewPew still have the momentum on this top lane with Manta Style now completed on the Ember Spirit. Again, as Ember Spirit, you never use your Manta Style for farming or split pushing or anything like that. So you always save it for that Global Silence. And if you had the Manta Style when you went for that kill for the first time, then split out of the silence, and then you walk away from the relocate, or you jump away since you had a remnant up. Shadow Fiend's going to take the tower down, Ember Spirit going to cut the creep wave, and now the Ember Spirit can look towards some other items. Kind of interesting to see Fox not go for the drums, considering how active he's been. But hey, getting the Manta Style is so important that I think skipping the drums rather is justifiable. Now that Fox has his defensive item, he can go for some more offensive items. Manta Style gives you some pretty good stats as far as offense is concerned. But let's just say it's no Chrysalis, it's no Battle Fury. Those should be the builds that, the items rather, that Fox wants to go for next. In the meantime, though, RD going to be joined by Toffee, level 11 now as an assassin, looking for the bottom lane. There is no one here. In fact, Ozone really scared at this point. They're just hiding in their base. I guess this is going to be the correct move at this point in the game, but still, Nick Assassin is being a really scary force. But I mean, as scary as Nick Assassin, it's really Toffee who's been setting up the vast majority of these kills. 8 out of the 11 have been involving the Bane, and most of the time, involving the Bane means that Bane starts those kills. And for Toffee, he's going to cash in pretty hard on that one. 1,500 gold. Not really sure what he's going to be going for. Maybe something like a Glimmer Cape to save his buddies. Oh, but Fox is in a little trouble. He's going to hit with 2 stuns. God Strength is already up, and he's going to get obliterated. Had a rem to jump to. But the double stuns of the hammer into the fissure. Or I guess this time the fissure into the hammer. More than enough stun duration with the God Strength Sven to just lay in the hurt. So Ember Spirit down, a pretty nice kill for Ozone. And that's a big one as well, but Crykiller is starting to become a pretty large threat as well. BKB and Yasha both up. Of course, Toffee is there with the grip if needed. They'll slow siege this tower. I don't think their plan is to get it here, but if they can get it, they'll be really happy. Oh, it's going to drop to deny range. This catapult now. Here comes the relocate, but instantly into a stun, into a Requiem as well. Dreamlove is already down to half HP. Pops his BKB, is going to throw a hammer towards RD, but he's not doing enough damage because he doesn't have God Strength. Now he's going to get gripped and just work down. No Grave in time from this Dazzle. They get the kill on this Sven. I mean, they already used the Grave. RD now is going to jump forward. He's going to take a couple tower shots, but he won't die just yet. Right clicks from Crykiller. They're just going to miss the Nyx Assassin. And double kill is achieved by the Shadow Fiend. That was also a 4v5 fight, mind you. PewPew did not have their Ember Spirit there. Hell, they didn't have their Ancient Apparition there, so I guess it was a 3v5 fight. Shadow Fiend cashes in. That relocate is, well, unfortunately going to be met with a pretty good response. Requiem and then kite back into grip. And the rest of Ozone, they, again, did not have the right tools to deal with that grip because they decided to use the Global Silence fairly early. The Global Silence is going to be up in just 80 seconds. Not a terribly large cooldown, at least for when they need it right now, but Global Silence is a 2-minute cooldown. That is going to be crippling you from time to time. And for PewPew, they get the tower. They also get a slew of kills, 1,800 gold in Shadow Fiend, so he can complete his SNY very quickly if he wants to. Alternatively, go for a Manta Style. Again, it's not really going to be a very classic Shadow Fiend item. It is kind of a rarer Shadow Fiend item. But if you have things to get rid of, namely Global Silence, it does offer you that extra bit of flexibility. You could casually use Manta Style to get rid of the silence effect and save your BKB for the main fight, or vice versa, whatever. He has options right now, and we'll see what he wants to go for. I think it's just going to be the SNY. Yeah, the Manta Style definitely great for the Global Silence counter. Not that great at anything else, unfortunately, so whatever for Cry. Whatever, man. He's going to be working down Rochelle. With double damage rune, it is possible. I think without it, he probably can't do it. Doesn't have enough damage. But in the meantime, Magical Joker, he's thinking about rotating in. Bane is to his south. Ancient Apparition to his north. Ancient Apparition will throw out the Ice Blast. And it's going to, just be out of range of Daida. If that Ice Blast landed with the Brain Sap, pretty sure that would have been a kill, but it doesn't really matter anyway. They don't use the grip to its fullest effect, but it's not a big deal because they get the Aegis, and now chains onto the Sven. Trash does have a relocate right now. Sven, though, is BKB'd, and he's going to have to try to book it. That's not going to happen. He's going to get worked down, although Grave is there. They need to relocate straight after that BKB is over. They're going to prime it, but it's too late. Trash is going to leave, but he's now spotted by Fox. Oh no, Io, does he have anything to tether to? Maybe he'll have someone there. Silencer's pinging someone, go over here so that we can save our IO. But the Nyx assassin is already there. He's coming in. Requiem is going to obliterate the IO. Now Nyx with the Vendetta into the Impale. Here comes the ice. It's going to go straight over the Earthshaker. That should be lethal. No, it's not. Actually, it's going to miss. He's going to throw a Fissure. Not bad, but he's still being stalked on the high ground by Nyx assassin with Blink. And, well, Ember Spirit's going to miss the Slight. Got silenced so he couldn't chain. And now Impale going to miss. Shaker narrowly gets out of there. Dazzle as well, but no, Dazzle's still in the fray. In the middle of everything. Toffee's going to kill him off with a Nightmare of all things. Feels bad, man. Feels so bad, man. Either way, 4-16 and PewPew with the Aegis still in tow are going to keep up this pressure. Ozone have no shot at hell at defending this tier 2. This is their last outer tower as well, whereas for they themselves, they have not taken a single tower. We're looking at a 15k lead in both gold and experience, and PewPew are accruing some massive items and gold on these supports. Force Staff on the Bane. Ancient Apparition has that Aghanim Scepter effect now up. And for the Nyx assassin, looks like he's going to go for Aghanims as well. Kind of interesting to see. I think this, I mean, defensively, the Aghanims on Nyx assassin is amazing. Offensively, not as much so. Still good, for sure, but just kind of pales in comparison to other items that he can get, I think. Usually Force Staff. Hell, even a late Dagon at this point would be pretty good, since he can clearly get these kills. But Aghanim Scepter gives you the stats, and that is sometimes just going to be good enough. Oh, Nightmare, Ice coming in. Dream Love's going to get hit with that one. It's going to hurt a lot, but it's Ember Spirit up towards top lane, killing off the Silencer. That's why they use Global Silence instead. Brain Sap out of trash. He's going to yank back, but he's going to Shatter. That's an Ancient Apparition, Aghanim'd Ice Blast. Oh, just way too much damage coming in from the fountains. Level 2 also. That Ice Blast hurts like hell. That's 2 kills for Ozone. Shadow Fiend not having any part of that is now pushing down the bottom lane. Ozone can no longer really leave their base. It's yet another kill set up by Toffee. Now 309. Just Nightmare into get kill. Easy peasy. The Ember Spirit has gone for a Blink Dagger also. Not going to go for a super high damage item as a secondary follow-up to Manta Style. Definitely not too late to grab it, but still. Maybe Crystallis next is kind of like a... I mean, you probably don't go for Battle Fury. It's a little bit too late for that. Just get Crystallis, get a little bit of extra damage. Jump in, slice some heroes, easy. Nyx assassin also has that Aghanim Scepter almost completed, but I don't know if it's going to be up by the time they need it for this high ground push. Slowly but surely, Cry is going to work down this tower. Fox Searing Chain because reasons. Now here comes Diadep, blink forward, no Echo Slam just yet. He gets immediately gripped. He's going to get a little bit of time because of the Grave, but I don't think he's actually going to be able to get this Echo Slam off. Even if he does, won't do that much damage. Now the Requiem Prime by Crykiller is going to obliterate Trash's HP. Ice Blast will fly overhead. Will miss, though, connect onto Tengu. Toffee going to look forward for this Nightmare, which will instantly be taken out. Now he's going to Force Staff down, evade the Hammer. Although they tried to actually bait it with the Spike Carapace. Dream's going to get right on top of Crykiller, but this is a Shadow Fiend with the Aegis. In the meantime, Fox, in the middle of the supports, is tearing them to shreds. Magical Joker's going to try to grave himself out of there. That won't happen. And, well, they'll take down the Silencer. The Sven is still dying. There it is. Mana Burn for the kill. And Ember Spirit, one more Sleight of Fist, will get the final one. Taking some tower shots, yes, but it's a full 5-man team wipe. A 5-0 exchange for PewPew. As Ozone don't get a damn thing. Global Silence not up for that. The Silencer's died one too many times this game. 2-5-0. Still has decent farm because of that Hand of Midas. But Dreamy thinks this is funny. I don't know, dude. I wouldn't be laughing if my base was being destroyed like this. I would be feeling kind of crappy. I guess it's fine, like the mental state of being able to laugh at a loss. That's healthy, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, guys. But yeah, they're not really doing that hot right now. They lost mid-Raxes almost in its entirety. They're just gonna go for melee instead of both melee range. Oh, they dodge a Sleight of Fist. Foxville with the Sleight of... They dodge Fissure with Sleight of Fist. Global Silence is there, but does nothing. And now Fox is even gonna dive right back in, even being silenced. He's doing a lot of damage with this Desolator. Now here comes the ice. Tengu, don't walk into that, man. Well, they're going to Fissure up Crykiller. There's a Nightmare and a Grip available, and that will actually save him from the Echo Slam, I think, but he will fall in the end. However, not for free. Dreamlove's now going to get on top of the bird. Nyx assassin can't continue that one, though. It's not going to happen. Now the ice. Cold Feet onto the Sven. He's going to get glimmered out. Tengu is, for some reason, back here. Why are you here? He's going to get gripped up. And the right clicks from these supports, which is going to kill him off. Now that the Ember Spirit's back, he's Salved up and Clarity up. Looking for Trash. Chains him down to the deck. Won't be lethal damage just yet. PewPew. They have the Nyx assassin right in the middle of everything. Is going to burrow and impale onto Dreamy Loves. Now out of mana. Cold Feet is going to freeze him in place. Shadow Fiend is back as Fox is going to go once again for the supports. Dazzle may get back to the fountain. No, he won't with the Sleight of Fist. Trash will fall after the Sven. This is definitely got to be game. They got one kill there on the Crykiller, and they know that it is over. 5-29. Ozone get absolutely demolished, and oh, the BM! The BM is real, guys. It's so real. That is going to be the end of it. It is Ozone to lose in not so glorious fashion versus PewPew. 1 kill a minute for PewPew, like clockwork. Kill. And that unfortunately means that we are going to have a break, because the next game is going to be in 2 hours. 1700 CEST. I guess 17 CEST, since it's not 1700. That wouldn't make any sense. That never actually happens. 17 CEST, it's going to be between Ozone, since they just lost, and T-Prime, who I have also not seen play yet. So Ozone have another shot, but PewPew Vietnam, they won 1 game and they're on top of the group. Feels pretty good, man. I'm Mikelorus, I've been your only caster for today. I am going to actually keep this stream live so that during the break I can jump over, help out my fellow caster cast his game, which is going to be Kingdom versus Team B, I think. I'm gonna put it there. Yeah, Kingdom versus Team B. I don't know if I'll be able to complete all of that, but we're gonna be waiting for Ozone versus T-Prime. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you guys stick around for a couple more games. We have well, 2 more games from the C region, then we're gonna jump over to EU for some games after that. I'm Mikelorus. It's been a pleasure casting for you guys, and I'll see you later.